Right then, this is Sharky from SHAR-KADE. Now today I'm going to show off two custom arcade units. These are ultimate SHAR-KADE builds with 16TB Hyperspin systems. Now then, what I'll do is I'll cut away and I'll come back in a second and show off these cool units. Right then, we have two ultimate arcade cabinets. Now on the left hand side here we have the ultimate deluxe control panel, and on the right hand side we have our 32-inch standard ultimate SHAR-KADE unit. Now both of these, like I say, are 16TB Hyperspin builds. The ultimate deluxe control panel has a Ryzen 5 CPU, 16GB DDR4 RAM, a 256GB M.2 SSD, and a RTX 3060 graphics card. Now this unit is a little bit more powerful than the one on the right here. It does have a slightly better motherboard. Now the motherboard in this is a mini ITX motherboard, so the performance is just that slight better. Not much difference, but a little bit better, bit more quality parts inside. Now then, the unit does come with these two Xbox 360 controllers. Now these controllers are a new set of controllers I've started using on my builds. Now these are, I believe, SparkFox wired controllers. They work really well, they feel really good. They're more of a Xbox One feel to the controllers themselves. They have these nice rubber side grips as well, which feel really nice. Not as high quality as the Xbox One controller, but the analogs on the controls themselves feel really nice and work really well. Now this unit also comes with a wireless mini keyboard and mouse. Now we use these keyboard and mouses just to get into the Windows operating system. There may be one or two systems you do need to use a mouse on there for trackball games and stuff like that. On a unit like this, you can just get a trackball ball mouse. Now I use a Microsoft one, which works really well as well. And also we have a Wii Controller Kit. So we do have two Wii controls with the nunchucks, and we have the Mame Flash wireless sensor bar. Now we use these for the Wii games, so you can play the Wii games with the official Wii controllers. We'll also use that to play the shooting games. Now there's a couple of hundred Mame shooting light gun games, shotgun games, stuff like that on the system. We also have Teknoparrot. Now Teknoparrot has a lot of cool new gen shooters. So you've got stuff like Aliens Extermination, Rambo, Transformers, as well as Sega Golden Gun, Let's Go Jungle, Let's Go Island, and a ton more shooters. I think Scarlet Dawn is on here, House of the Dead Scarlet Dawn, which is a quality shooting game, but it does run off Patreon, which requires an internet connection. I do not recommend these being online, to be honest, while you're using a unit. I recommend keeping it offline. Stops any Windows updates creeping in and messing up your system. But I do have a one controller set up for that. You can run two controllers with stuff like Sega Golden Gun, sorry, not Sega Golden Gun, with House of the Dead Scarlet Dawn. But you would need another Mame Flash sensor bar, and you'd have to set it up through Demul Shooter. I am working on trying to get in the guns for IR kits as well as the AA light guns, and my SHAR-KADE units are going to be set up with those in the future. I think a customer of mine ordered his AA light guns about 5 months ago, and he's still waiting on them showing up. So as soon as I get a kit in, I will be doing a configuration for them. There is the Sinden light guns, but to be honest, I don't like the Sinden light guns. Sindens would be perfectly fine for systems like this, which is plugged into a TV, and you've got your nice coloured border. But for the arcade cabinets, the stand-ups, a lot of my units have a coloured border. Now that would usually conflict with the games themselves, and because the screens are slightly on an angle backwards, it can conflict as well. So the accuracy is not as good as it should be, as well as reflective. A lot of stuff can interfere with these IR guns. Now the Sinden light guns, sorry. Now, like I say, I'm working on looking into the A-Light gun kits and the Guns for IR kits, which all the reviews and people I've spoke to and people that make them I've spoke to all rage about them. They're meant to be absolutely brilliant and the accuracy is just unreal. But as for gun games and stuff like that, the Wii Controller Kits work perfectly just as a nice plug and play kit. You can't get gun attachments for them. Some gun attachments are really cheap. You can get some really nice ones. I know there's the Precision X gun holsters for the Wii Controller Kits, but you do need, you don't need. Basically, they don't make them anymore. So if you can pick them up, they are like gold dust. I have one at home. If you can pick one up, you're laughing. They're really good. They've got a reload on the bottom. I know a customer of mine did order another gun as well, similar to that. So I'll ask him what the gun, the brand and everything is of that, and maybe put it in a link below. Now then, so like I said, this is an ultimate arcade build. It has a mini high-end PC inside in our 16 terabyte Hyperspin system. Our 16 terabyte Hyperspin system has 340 plus systems and over 98,000 games. I think my 24 terabyte build that's coming soon will have just around 100,000 games on there with all the extra, the Switch, PS free stuff and the GOG games. Now, all my units usually come with Sanwa sticks. We can add different types of sticks. I prefer them. I swear by the Sanwas. They feel really nice. They're perfect for all-round gaming. This unit comes with the Sanwa buttons. I can't put the LED buttons in. There's just not enough room in these units for wiring and stuff like that, the extra wiring. So I use the Sanwa buttons in these units because they're short buttons and the wiring just fits in nicely. Now then, we have our custom dust covers on the unit as well. So our SHAR-KADE custom dust covers are custom printed and they're all designed and made by me at SHAR-KADE. And then we have our custom grill in the center there. And then just underneath this nice clear acrylic, we have some beautiful printed artwork. Now, if we go around the back of the unit, we have started putting these back plates on as well, just to clean everything up, all the seams and stuff like that, make it look a little bit nicer on the back of the unit. I may do a little change to this and just add a solid piece going across the bottom as well, just to give it a bit extra strength. So on the back there, we do have two USB 3.0 ports there. We have another two USB ports there, with a mouse port, but to be honest, you probably would never use a PS2 mouse port. You do have our wireless keyboard adapter plugged in there. These do have onboard wireless as well. We have our line ins and outputs with our microphone port as well, and another USB port there with a USB-C, I believe there are, and an Ethernet port as well if you wish to hardwire it to the internet. You can connect these to the internet, and I can connect to these via the internet and do any configuration issues that you may have, any setup issues. I can take a look, see if I can repair anything, if anything goes wrong. But like I say, I don't recommend putting these online, to be honest, unless you disable Windows updates in the operating system. And we have our mini power supply there as well. So you only have two cables really running out the back of this unit. So you have your main power cable. These are your standard ICE, is it? ICE 320 power supplies. But this is a switching power supply. So you've got your 120 volts as well as your 240, and then at the back there we have all those display ports, all those display connectors. So we have a HDMI out and we have three display ports? Yeah, display port connectors. So we have three display port connectors and a HDMI out there as well. So you can connect this to a gaming monitor as well. Me, I prefer gaming on monitors than I do TVs, to be honest. And yeah, we right in the corner there as well, we have our little wireless sensor, IR sensor, sorry. That IR sensor is for the LEDs, so it is connected to the LEDs, and you'll get an LED controller with that, so you can change it to static LEDs, or you can have it like it is now, sound activated. On the sides of the unit as well, we have pinball buttons. So on each side we have the pinball buttons, and at the front there we have a coin and start button for player 1 and player 2. Now then, on the GTA Vice City unit, it's similar to the last unit I built, but with a slight change on the front there. So we have that stunning artwork there on the left hand side, and then if we move across the control panel, we have that nice synthwave Vice City look to the unit, and then we have these nice bi-coloured ball tops. Now these are two-toned. There's a purple at the top and it goes nice and blue at the bottom there. These aren't going with the unit. The customer has ordered his own, so I'll just put some plain ball tops on this, and when the customer gets it, he can put his cool bi-colour ball tops on there. I think these are made by SHAR-KADE, which they make some quality ball tops. I love just the finish on them, like glass. It looks absolutely beautiful, and you don't really get fingerprints on there as well, so they always stay nice and shiny. So on here we do have those palm trees there with the Rockstar logo just faded in there. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but we have the Rockstar logo on there, and those nice palm trees with that nice purple to dark purple effect. Now same on the right hand side here, we have those dust covers there with the Rockstar logo and a nice blue button themed. Now we have this nice palm tree effect, which just really suits the unit, to be honest, and that nice synthwave Vice City looking background of Chinatown. And I believe there's a car in there in the background as well. And then just that high quality image. Now these, I do vector a lot of my imagery and stuff, especially when it's comic-y and cartoony like that, so it can be printed to the highest possible quality. So as you can see there, the quality of the artwork is just outstanding. That's where my units do stand out. Now on the front here we do have a fan. Now the customer's going to have this right against the wall. Now I do recommend my units being at least a foot away from the wall, like any PC you would. You'd have it at least a foot away from the wall to allow airflow. Now the customer wouldn't be able to do that, so what I've done is I've cut a hole in the front of the unit, and then I've added a fan on there. Now it isn't quite safe to just have kids around this and stick the fingers in, because it is a spinning fan behind that grill. Now you probably think, what's the airflow like on that, because there's not a lot of openings for airflow. Now I've built custom grills for years. It's a product of mine. I started on the PC scene. I've done benchmark tests and everything with custom grills like this. To be honest, it doesn't make a huge difference, and there's a nice flow of air coming out of that unit, and it's quite cool, to be honest. So we're getting a nice, though the unit's on, we're getting a nice cool air blowing out there. This is a slightly different mini amp to the ones I usually use. This mini amp actually has a microphone port, which I haven't tested yet, and an auxiliary port. I don't have a microphone for this to test, so hopefully that works really well, and hopefully it works well with the line in. But I did have a few damaged mini amps, which have got to be sent back, but because in China it takes a while to come through, and I did have this one from was meant to be in a previous project. This actually has Bluetooth as well, this amp, so you can Bluetooth music to it. You have line in, line, so you have your radio, Bluetooth, and your line in. And it also has USB ports and a TF card port, so a micro SD card port. So you can put music to MP3s to an SD card and play music direct from the amp. and then you have that microphone port there, like I say. So then underneath the marquee there, we have that repeating artwork of the palm trees. Then across the marquee there, you've just got this beautiful, I think it's a Datsun motor there, with that nice palm tree background, with these faded palm trees all the way through, and it just, with those lights fading in, fading out, it just looks absolutely stunning. I've got to say, it is one of my best marquees I think I've done. Just the way the lights fade in and out, and the colours actually change in the background, and it just looks how a real cool marquee should look. Down the right hand side here, we have all this purple T-moulding throughout the unit, so we have a nice purple T-moulding trim, and then we have that nice pinky purple trim going throughout the side art. Now this is a slightly different side art, and we have that nice some sort of sports car, is it a Ferrari or something type car there, and then that nice Grand Theft Auto Vice City logo. And just, if you stand back and look at this unit from top to bottom, it's absolutely stunning. I mean, in a nice retro wave, synth wave themed room, this would just, it would even stand out in that. It's just such a beautiful unit. The colours, the lights and everything on it is just stunning. Now then, if we move over to the top, we do have our speaker grills. Now we have the Grand Theft Auto Vice City logo there, and that repeating artwork going across the top. And just those grills alone, where they fade in, fade out, it just looks so nice. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll cut away in a second, and then I'll show off some gameplay footage. Now we've got a ton of games on there. Like I say, we've got Star Wars: The Fallen Order, we've got God of War, which is on the screen there, ready to play. We do have a Hyperspin, a Hyper Search, sorry, set up as well, so you can do a search for games. So I've searched Street Fighter on here, and it brings up all the different Street Fighter games on all the different systems as well, so you can do a search instead of going through the systems and so on. So I'll cut away and I'll be back in a second.
Found some.
Get in the boat, boy.
Still want me to tie it to the boat?
Boy,
Found it!
slow down, boy.
Sorry.
You are hunting deer, not chasing it.
Yes, Father. I'm sorry.
Do not be sorry. Be better. Find it. Find it. No! You are not ready! Stay back!
Right then, I'm going to show off the systems and some of the games that come with those systems. So then, we on hyper search option. So what I'll do is I'll search pack, and then that'll find anything that has those 3 letters in it. So like space games and stuff like that. So we'll search pack, go ahead, And then we have like Space Duel and stuff like that, because the letter in PAC is in the title of those games. So we have Space Invaders, we have Angry Birds in Space on there. We have the different systems. So as you can see along the top bar there, we do have the different systems, and then all those games with those letterings in. So if we go along, we have Cave, C64, Daphne, and there is an all games option, which is usually the first option you come to. So you have the Mame, all the Mame stuff. So if we go down, we'll likely find Pac-Man. So we have Pac-Man Jr. and stuff on there, and then we have light gun games. There's a lot of systems on here, so let's try and find the all option. So like I say, you can go to, say if there's a certain system, a certain game you're looking for, you would go to that system, or if you just wanted to go all the way through. So many games with the letters PAC in it. I'm still going through, and as you can see along the top there, it is in alphabetical order of the system. So we're on all there, so you can go down, search all, so go through all the games, and like I say, if you press right, you can go onto the Pacific system. So if you wanted the Pegasus for Space Invaders, or if you wanted, I like Mame, I like a lot of my Mame stuff. So let's go, keep going along. BCDFG, Mame, it's yeah. So what we'll do is we'll go down. So we'll have Do Don Patchy on there. Miss Pac-Man. Oh, I pressed left on my stick. So let's load Miss Pac-Man.
Loading.
And then that game will load, and with arcade systems you press the power button and that'll add a couple of coins, and then you can press start. So we'll hit our escape button and it'll bring us straight back to the Hyperspin menu and back to the system we were in. So like I say, we're on Hypersearch, so let's go down. We have a 1900s collection, then an AAE, then BBC, Micro, American Laser Games, Pegasus, Angry Birds. I'll skip through quite a few because obviously there's such a big list and I'll be here forever. So we have a nice Atari collection, so the different Atari systems. C64 system. We have the Daphne stuff. We have feature pinball games. Now there's over 500 pinball tables. There's one or two that have errors on them, which I'm going to take a look at a later date and get those fixed or remove them from the system. But there's around 500 tables on there. You're bound to come across one or two that doesn't work 100%. So let's go to... Let's head down. We have Jukebox Software on there, but you do need, for the Jukebox Software, you do need a license key for. There's thousands of music tracks, there's thousands of karaoke tracks, and there's thousands of music videos as well. But if you wish for this software to be set up, you do have to pay for a license key. I'll connect to your machine and set it up for you, or I'll set it up before the unit goes out. So let's head into Mame. So we have Mame there. We have around 30,000 Mame games. So there's a ton on there. You can do a search in Mame or in a system. So if you hold left or right on the arcade stick, it'll bring up some letters, and then you can do a search by letter. So if I wanted, say, Street Fighter, instead of going to S, I would go to T, because there's so many games in Mame alone. It would take you a long time scrolling down through S to get ST for Street Fighter. So I go to T, then I head up, and then when I head up, you've got Street Fighter right there. Now if I just headed to S and held down, and I'll be holding down for a little while, and I'm still holding down, I'm in the SHs, SKs, SN, so we're not quite at Street Fighter yet, SP. So like I say, I usually go to T if I wanted Street Fighter. That's one of my go-to games. So I go up, and we have Street Fighter there. So then, let's go back. Now you have Mame 3D boxes. It's just another collection of games, literally with the 3D box art. So if we go into it there, then you have the nice 3D box art there. Not really a huge system, like I say, it's just another system of Mame, just with some extra 3D box art. And then we have the collection of all the 2-player games. Then we have the 4-player stuff. We have a 70s collection, 80s collection, 90s collection, flying games. We have the light gun games. A ton of different collections of systems as well. Then we have the Midway classic stuff and the different Midway units. Now if you don't know what Mugen is just basically, it's usually a fighting game. And it's a created fighting game. It's make your own fighting game basically. You can have the Simpsons on there, Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter characters, and all sorts. It goes back quite a few years. I've made my own Mugen back in the day with a massive collection of characters. I think I had over 1,000 characters at one point, and I dumbed it down to just the best of the best. And then I had hidden characters on the menu as well. So you could hide characters off screen, and you would have to press a series of buttons to get on to the hidden characters, which was a good, neat little thing I hadn't seen anyone else do. And yeah, it's just literally a creation of different fighting games and different systems and stuff like that. So let's head down, and so we have Nintendo Entertainment System. So we have NES Classic. And I think that's the mini. Is that the Nintendo, original Nintendo, or the mini? I think that might just be the mini. And so we have the Nintendo DS, then we have the Nintendo Entertainment System, so the original Nintendo. And then we have NES hacks, Family Computer, Game Boy systems, Game Boy Color, GameCube. We have Nintendo Switch on there also, so we have a nice little collection of Switch games. Just cycle through them there. We'll just head back. And then we have the Nintendo Versus system. Now the Nintendo Versus system was a series of arcade machines with different games on there. I think it used to be like a couple of different games on each system. I can't really remember. So yeah, you had like the Versus Top Gun and the 10 yards fight and so on and so on. It wasn't many of those older arcade systems I actually played on. I played on like the classic stuff like Pac-Man, Street Fighter, in the arcades I found. It wasn't until I got older I started playing the unique and unusual cabinets. So let's head down. We have Nintendo Wii, so we have our Wii Controller Kit, which works with the Nintendo Wii systems. We have the Wii Light Gun games, so all the Light Gun games for the Wii itself. Then we have Wii U. We have PC fighting games. Now, we have a nice collection of PC fighters on there, so we have Injustice 2, Injustice 1, Jump Force, Killer Instinct, Mortal Kombat Complete Edition, Mortal Kombat 10, Soul Calibur 6, Street Fighter 5, Street Fighter X Tekken, Ultra Street Fighter 4, Street Fighters, Tekken 7, King of Fighters 13, Dead or Alive 5, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, and a few others. Now these systems here, these games here are on our 8 terabyte build. 2 moments, I'll turn the TV down.
Bring it on.
Just turn the TV down there. So yeah, on our standard 8 terabyte build, we do have this collection of fighting games. Now we are coming up with an upgrade drive for the 8 terabyte builds on the lower end hardware. Those 8 terabyte drives can be upgraded to 16 terabyte, but you'll have a different collection of the 16 terabyte games that we have here. And we'll have a lower end PC setup, but it will have a ton of newer PC games which the GPU, the 1650 graphics card, is more than capable of playing. Now then, on this 16 terabyte build, we have a lot higher end PC games which you need a better GPU and CPU to play. So let's head back and go down to the PC Plus games. PC games. Now the PC games also come on the 8 terabyte build. We have Streets of Rage 4 on there. We have Street Fighter 5 repeated again. Then we have Angry Birds Collection and Blue Estate, which is a cool shooting game as well. It's well worth playing. It's a quality shooter. And then we have Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, which is quite a new game. A couple of years old now, I think, but it's still quite a new PC title. Great graphics. We have Shank. Now Shank's a brilliant game. Absolutely love it. I don't get much time to play it, to be honest. I'll play maybe the first level and then I end up having to do something or build an arcade. So we have Shovel Knight, Sonic All-Star Racing, and back to Streets of Rage 4. Now this is where the 16 terabyte drive comes into it. We have the next gen PC titles in just a really nice large collection of new PC games. Now, like I say, some of these games will also be on the 16 terabyte add-on to the 8 terabyte build. So the standard arcade build will have a 16 terabyte drive with quite a few of these games, but minus the higher end setup games, the games that require a more powerful GPU and CPU. Now then, we have stuff like Absolver. Oh, I've just skipped there because I pressed right on the arcade stick. So we have 9 Monkeys of Shaolin, Absolver, Adventure Time, Atom Fall, Afro Samurai 3. Now, Afro Samurai 2, sorry, not 3, Afro Samurai 2, with the older controllers I was using, it wasn't actually working. The controls wouldn't work it very well. So to those customers, I do recommend you pick up these Star Fox Xbox controllers. There will be some configuration for 1 or 2 games and systems to reconfigure those controls with, but to be honest, it's a couple of minute job. I can connect to your machine, I can reconfigure it, but I do recommend picking these up. They're a lot better controller, they feel a lot nicer, and they work with those 1 or 2 games that weren't working before. They work really well with those, and to be honest, for the next gen PC titles and stuff, they work perfect. Those controllers for the analogs feel really nice. So we will go to Alan Wake, and then Alex the Kid in Miracle World DX, Aliens Fireteam Elite. Then we have Assassin's Creed Collection. Now we have Freedom Cry on there, Origins, Syndicate, Assassin's Creed China Remastered 3, Rogue, I think that's Russia, Black Flag, Odyssey and Valhalla. Now we have Attack on Titan on there, Balan Wonderland, some anime thing. Never really played it, to be honest. Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and then Arkham Origins. We have Battletoads there, the new Battletoads. We have Bayonetta, We have Beatdown Brawler. Now you will start seeing a few other games that you won't find on Extreme Gaming Cabinets machines. Now they did buy a drive from us, and then they ripped off obviously all the games and put it on their drive, which is cool. But they did advertise it as their hard work. Basically, it wasn't all these PC titles that's new on their machine. Was all my hard work, the wheel art and stuff like that as well in the setup. I don't know why they paid such a large amount of money for a drive, when if they had a Vastas, I would have probably done it for them. I thought they were a cool company, but in the past they have ripped off other people's drives. I've had so many people contact us of stuff they've been ripping off other people's and claiming it as their own hard work. So you will see some newer titles on here, and there's a lot more cooler stuff to come as well, that you won't find anywhere on their drives. So we have Biomutant, we have Bionic Commando, we have Bioshock, Blaze Blue stuff, we have the new Blizzard Arcade Collection, and Bloodstained Ritual Night. I think that's also a cool Switch game as well. We have Bluefire. We have Bomber Girl, Borderlands 2, Borderlands 3, Borderlands, and Borderlands pre-sequel. We have Bright Memory, Capcom Arcade Stadium, which is pretty cool, and just old arcade classic games and stuff. And it's got nice bezels and theme to it, so quite a good game. We have Captain Tsuba, I can't pronounce it. I think that's a pretty new game. Castlevania Lords of Shadows, quality game. And we have Chop on there, Cobra Kai. We have Control, which is a pretty new game and quite a demanding game that. And we have Crash Bandicoot 4. That's another game that will also run on the older gen hardware as well. Not older gen, it's just the lower end setup. So we have Dandy Ace, we have Darksiders Genesis, Darksiders 3, and Days Gone, another quality game, Dead Cells, Dead or Alive 6, Dead Space 2, Dead Space 3, Deadfall Adventure, Deadpool, Dead Rising 4, Death Stranding, and that's quite a demanding game as well. Not my thing, to be honest. You just run around with a backpack on. Yes, so Detroit Become Human, quite a cool game if you're into, was it Fahrenheit, the old Fahrenheit game, or Indigo Prophecy, I think it was called in America, and Fahrenheit, I'm not sure if it was UK or America, one of the two, but it had two different names, and it's quality game. I used to love that game, which will also be on our GOG collection. Devil May Cry 5, Devil's Hunt, Dirt Rally 2.0, Disco Elysium. A friend of mine pointed us to this game. It's not my type of game, but it's meant to be pretty cool. DMC, Devil May Cry, the crapper Devil May Cry in my opinion. Dark Alliance, D&D, Dodonpachi, Resurrection, Doom Eternal, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, Elex. We have Exit Limbo, we have Fallout 4, Far Cry 4, 5. Now 6 was added, but I had to remove 6. I'm going to keep the wheel art on there, and I'm going to keep it on there because I'm waiting for a new fix for that game as well. So I'll keep it all on there, and once a new fix comes out for the game, I'll start getting customers adding it to their setup. We have Far Cry New Dawn, Far Cry Primal, FIFA 19. FIFA 19 I think a customer had an issue with, so I'm going to double check that before it goes. Fight Layer AX, Final Fantasy 7, the remake, Final Fantasy 15, I think those two are new added on there. We have Fist, Forza Horizon 4, Forza Horizon 5. Now really demanding game, works brilliant on this machine. Fury, G.I. Joe, Garfield Racing, Gears 5, Ghost Runner, quality game, hard man. Ghost and Goblins Resurrection, God Eater 3, God of War, which you've seen in the gameplay footage earlier on. We have God's Will Fall, Grand Theft Auto 4, 5, we have Guilty Gear, Izuka, is it? Guilty Gear Strife, another cool new title. We have Hades, Halo, Master Chief Collection. We have Haven, Heavy Rain, Hellblade, and that's a cool game, and really immersive game. Homefront, Horizon Zero Dawn, another demanding title. We have Hot Wheels Unleashed, Hotline Miami 1 and 2, Hunt Down, which I rave about this game. I played it so much down my mates when I went away to my friends. I just sat on his little mini PC. I got him, and I played ages. I played for hours on this. It's such a good game, well made. If you love your retro games but want something that looks new and fresh with the old school graphics and a perfect soundtrack, this is a game to play. It's just absolutely cheesy, quality, violent as hell, and it's really well made. Immortals Phoenix Rising, it takes two. Now, that's a two-player game. I think you've got to play 2 players on that game. And Jets and Guns, we have Just Cause 4, Cares and the Wild Masks, Kennard Bridge of Spirits. We have Kill the Kill, Kingdom Hearts 3, we have Left Alive, Little Nightmares 1 and 2, Lords of the Fallen, Mad Max, Mafia Definitive Edition, Mafia 3 Definitive Edition, Mark of the Ninja, another cool game. Marvel Avengers, really demanding game. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, we have Mega Man 11, Metal Gear Solid 5, we have Metro Exodus, Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor, we have Minecraft Dungeons, Monkey King, Monster Energy Supercross, Monster Hunter World, Mortal Kombat 11, perfect playing with the arcade sticks on MK11. We have MXGP 2020, we have My Hero 1 Justice 2, NBA 2K Playgrounds 2, NBA 2K21, NBA Playgrounds. Then we have Neon Wings, All-Star Brawl, Nickelodeon, Nickelodeon Kart Racers, Ninja Blade, Ninja Gaiden 1, 2 and 3, Neo, is it pronounced Neo 1 and 2, Oddworld Soulstorm. Now there's a bit of a glitch with that game. The audio in the cutscenes isn't there. I'm going to try and update the game at some point, but as it stands in the cutscenes there is no audio. But the game works, and it works really well. It's just a shame the cutscenes have no sound on. One Punch Man, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and Ori and the Blind Forest. Pacer, Paradise Lost, Persona 5 Potentia, Power Rangers, Project Wingman, RBI 21, R-Type Dimensions EX, cool game. R-Type Final 2, another cool game. Rad Rogers Radical Edition. Rage 2, Mirage, Remnant, Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City, Resident Evil 0 HD, Resident Evil 2 the remake, Resident Evil 3 the remake, Resident Evil 6, Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8 the Village. Resident Evil HD Remastered, Resident Evil Revelations 2. I am going to be adding some more Resident Evil games, maybe Resident Evil 4 as well on there. I know there's a HD remake of the game. Excuse me. Right, I know there's a HD remake of Resident Evil 4, which I think was done by the community itself, so I'm going to potentially add that on there, and a few other cool stuff as well. We have Raid 4, Rising Hell, Saints Row the Third Remastered, Sakuna, Sam and Max Save the World, Samurai Showdown, which is a newer Samurai Showdown, really cool game, really cool fighter if you like the fighting games. We have Scarlet Nexus, Secrets of Mana, Shakiro, Shadows Die Twice. Played a little bit of that. I think that's the difficult one, isn't it? I think that's quite a hard game to play. We have Shenron, we have Shadow of the Tomb Raider, quality game. Shadow of War, we have Shadow Warrior 2. Actually have Shadow Warrior 3 as well to add to the system at some point. But all my setups are ready to add new games and everything else. I'm going to skip that because the audio on there. We have Shady Part of Me, Shank 2. So Shank 2's on there as well. Quality game. Shaolin versus Wu-Tang 1 and 2. We have Shattered. We have Shayo, Skull, Sniper, Contract, Snow, South Park, Fractured Butthole, South Park Stick of Truth, Spirit Roots, Spyro Reignited Trilogy. We have Star Wars The Fallen Order, really high demand again, quality, it just looks beautiful, absolutely beautiful looking game. Street Fighter 5 Championship Edition, Succubus. We have Sunset Overdrive, we have Dragon Ball Heroes, Super Meat Boy, Super Monkey Ball, Tales of the Borderlands, Sonic Team Racing, Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Portal Power, that is. I'm waiting for the new Turtles to come out. We have the Darkness 2, quality game. We have the Evil Within 1 and 2, the Falconer, House of the Dead Overkill, Typing of the Dead. Now this is Typing of the Dead, House of the Dead, Typing of the Dead, but it also has the option to have the actual shooting version of the game. So you can use that with the Wii Controller, quality game. Hunter Call of the Wild, King of the Fighters, and then we have the Medium, Outer Worlds, I think that's new King of Fighters as well, so that's King of Fighters 14, is that? Then we have the Pathless, Sinking City, the Takeover. Now this Takeover, each time you boot it, you do have to set up your controls. I think it's just a version of the game I have on there, but there is the Nintendo Switch version of the game, and to be honest, it just looks a lot better, feels a lot better to play, and there's no controller config to have to mess around with. The Witcher 3, Toki, Tony Hawk's HD Pro Skater, Transformers Battlegrounds, Transformers Fall of Cybertron, Transformers Rise of the Darkspark, Transformers War of Cybertron, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, In Night,
Rated.
is that Under Night in Birth, it's late.
Rated. Everyone.
Unruly Heroes, Urban Trial Playgrounds, Warhammer 40k, Warp Drive, Watch Dogs Legion, another high-end title on there, newly added. We have Werewolf, The Apocalypse Earthblood, Windbound, Wolfenstein 2, Wonder Boy, The Dragon's Trap, Wreckfest, 2K Battlegrounds, WWE, Ninja Gaiden Z, Yakuza O, Yakuza 3, Yakuza 4, Yakuza 5, Yakuza 6, and Like a Dragon, and back to 9 Monkeys of Shaolin. So let's head further down the list. We have Pinball FX2 and 3, and Pinball Arcade, so there's a ton of pinball systems on there. We have Racing Classics, Resident Evil collections, Samurai Showdown collections. We have Nintendo Dreamcast. We have Sega Genesis and Sega Mega Drive on there. We have the Model 1, 2 and 3 on there. Sega Naomi Gun Games and Sega Naomi 2. We have the Nomad, we have the Pico, we have Sega Ring Edge, Sega Ring Wide, and then we have Sega Saturn. Let's head further down. We have Shotgun Games. We have PlayStation 1, PlayStation 1 Japanese games, PlayStation shoot 'em ups, PS2, PS3. Now the PS2 games do take a while to load. They are compressed into zip files, and it just saves a lot of space. Because extracting them, you'll be taking an extra terabyte or so just extracting those games and having those pre-extracted. But it does save a lot of space on the drive for more systems and more games. So you do have to be patient while those games load. We have PlayStation 3, PSP Mini, Pocket Station, PSP. We have the M.5 Sports, Star Trek Collection, Street Fighter Collection, Super Nintendo. We have Super Smash Bros. Collection, the Taito Type X systems. We have Teknoparrot. Now if we go into Teknoparrot, we do have a ton of cool games as well. Operation Ghost. We have Rambo, Raiden 3 and 4, We have Dream Rider, Sega Golden Gun, quality shoot 'em up game. We have Silent Hill the arcade. We have Star Wars Battle Pod. We have Tetris on there. House of the Dead 4, House of the Dead Scarlet Dawn, Time Crisis 5, Transformers, Human Alliance, and other arcade cool stuff. Then we'll head down, we have trackball games, we have Wrestling Collection, down to Zinc, and then back to Hyper Search. So then I'll not show off the systems on the other arcade. It's the exact same systems. The hardware's the same on these setups. Such beautiful, cool units. I mean, there's a lifetime of fun on there, and we've got some extra cool stuff coming soon to be able to upgrade these systems as well. Now, the Ultimate Deluxe control panel, you won't be able to fit another hard drive inside the unit. You may be able to replace a hard drive inside the unit with a bigger drive and then have our extra stuff added on there, or you could run stuff from a USB hard drive. Now, the problem with running stuff from a USB hard drive, it will make it slightly slower load times and stuff like that. But to be honest, the games and systems that will be on that extra add-on drive is likely not needing a super fast hard drive to run those games. But I do recommend having a larger drive inside. It's just faster reading times, faster load times, and so on. And that's it really. If you wish to purchase a unit like this, this Transformers one, you are looking at around 2,500. That will come with the Wii Controller Kit, the high-end GPU, high-end hardware, CPU, the soundbar sticks, buttons, everything in a quality professional finished unit. For the GTA size unit with the Wii Controller Kit, the RGB LEDs and stuff like that, the full custom artwork and everything else on there, you are looking at around £3,220. That's a 32-inch monitor build, and that will come with the Wii Controller Kit, the 2 Xbox controllers, the amp controller, the LED controller, the wireless keyboard and mouse, and those, I think I mentioned the Xbox 360 controllers, but the Xbox 360 controllers. I'm going to have to edit this video, which is going to take us a while. I do have some custom designs to do as well. I've got this Ultimate Arcade build that I've got to try and get the artwork finished. There's so much artwork going on that unit, it's ridiculous. There's been a lot of editing getting done for that. I've got to make a start on the next unit, which I think is another Standup, a Fallout unit, and then I've got one next week. Which to be honest, it's nearly the end of the week now. I may have this other unit finished by next week if the design's agreed on. Once the design's agreed on, I can make a start. And yeah, that's it really. If you like to put an order in, like I said, just get your order in. Hit us up at d.sharkade.co.uk if you have any questions at all. You can order via the website. I may have to adjust the pricing a little bit. I think GPU prices are coming down. As soon as I see an official drop in GPU prices and stuff, I am going to adjust my prices. I'll knock them straight down. That's the way I work. If prices drop, I'll drop my prices alongside it. So you're paying for what you get basically. My profit margins stay the same basically throughout all the units. I may make a little bit on maybe the Wii Controller Kits, but it all depends. Sometimes the Wii Controller Kits, if there's low in stock on the Wii bars, they go from 30 quid all the way up to 80 quid. But my price stays the same on those. I offer them as £150. Like I say, those Wii bars can go up to up to 80 quid from 30 quid. And the Wii controllers, sometimes you can't get Wii controllers in, and believe me, when I've ordered Wii controllers, they've come. I mean, I've got a couple over there now that aren't working, and I'm so busy sometimes I forget to test them as soon as they come in, and I've been basically ripped off with Wii controllers in the past. So I've actually built up a nice collection of just absolutely scrapped Wii controllers. This happens, you can only really buy second-hand Wii controllers. They've got to be official ones. If I can find an official source that sells official brand new controllers, I'd buy them. I'd buy the Wii controllers, but you can't really get them brand new. That's the only issue. You can't really get Wii controllers brand new. It's a pain in my backside, but that's really how it is. So make sure you like, share, subscribe to the videos, hit that notification bell, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.